Yeah, my name is Bo Barron. I'm from Owensboro, Kentucky. Beyond being a 102 instructor, we have a brokerage company that does small town brokerage. So we specialize in our market, our geography, and do whatever we need to do. Well, my first CRM was a legal pad. So when I started in 2004 with my dad, that's how he did it. He wrote everything down, and so that's how I did it. And so pretty quickly, I started to try to figure out how I could just do things more efficiently. And that's where technology came in. He's also a designee, so like my first week on the job with him, he had me into CI 101, and getting the designation was actually a condition of my employment. So right away I was exposed to the CCIM set of tools. I was in the site to do business pretty much first year of my career. So it has always been a part. So as it has evolved, the functionality and our use of it has evolved to the point now where we use a lot of AI in our business, just in trying to do excellent work as fast as possible. It's part of our workflows. Site to do business certainly is. When I go and teach 102, it's a huge part of that course. I can't imagine actually being of any service to my clients without being able to use what is now IntelliSite and the other technology tools. Like, it almost seems like it'd be irresponsible brokerage. When I started, I think Site to do business online, when it came out, was like late 90s, I'm not sure. I got into the business in 2004. And so I remember it being, all right, I had a map and I could drop some pins on a map. I could run some reports and get some numbers. And when I looked around at the other people in our market, like, they weren't doing that. So right off the bat, I'm thinking, all right, this gives me some kind of a competitive advantage. So when I'm marketing the properties that we're listing and trying to sell, I can provide better information than my competitors can do. And then I remember that just expanding over the years, but I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. And so that became just part of our process. You know, we're gonna run some reports, we're gonna put some demographic information out there. But there was so much more to it that I never really delved into until I became an instructor in 2019 and decided on 102. And then I audited 102 for the first time, which meant there's like at least a 15-year gap between when I took 102 and when I became a 102 instructor. So I had to do it again. And seeing what I'd been missing all those years on what it could do, man, like I had literally been missing out. So since I've been teaching 102, over the last 6 or 7 years, you learn something best by teaching it. And so, yeah, we've been implementing, suitability analysis and void analysis. And I'm looking around, nobody else is doing this in my market, And I'm from such a small market, we have 3 CCIM designees, and the other 2 are my dad and my uncle. So, our chapter meetings are Thanksgiving dinner, you know what I mean? Like it's been such an advantage. And so now that it's been retooled, rebranded as IntelliSite, I'm so excited about what's possible, because if you looked at the dashboard of what was Site to do business, I could do this over here and this over here and this over here, and there are all kinds of different functionalities. And it was all there on one dashboard, but you're jumping back and forth, and I never really understood how annoying that could be until now with IntelliSite. It's putting it all together in one place and introducing some AI functionality that helps you do it faster and better. And I'm all about speed and excellence. So the faster and the better that we can do it, it's exciting to see what's actually possible now. What I think is one of the most underutilized tools, and one of my favorite tools, is Database USA, like the access that we have to that. And so when we're pitching for business, we'll sit down and we'll say, okay, who needs to be in this property? What kind of tenant, what kind of buyer needs to be in this property? And then we'll go into NAICS codes, and I'll just Google like what NAICS codes, North American Industrial Classification Systems, or those types of businesses. We can go in Database USA and search for those NAICS codes, say in a 50-mile radius, and see if we can generate somewhere between 200 and 500 different companies. Well, there's a really good chance that the tenant or the next buyer of that property is going to be on that list. There's at least a good chance. And so I can walk into a listing presentation and say, look, here's who we think should be in here. Could be somebody else, but we're just playing probabilities here. It looks like this is the type of business that should be in this place, and here's all of them within a 50-mile radius. They're on this list. And so we're gonna make you a beautiful OM. We're gonna make sure that the marketing is out everywhere, on all the online portals, and if somebody's looking for a property like yours, they're gonna find it. But we're gonna call these people, we're gonna proactively market, we're gonna go find your best buyer and we're going to bring them to this. We're not just going to wait for them to passively find what's out there online. They're probably on this list, and so you hire us and we're going to start calling. And at the end of a couple weeks, like, we're going to know if we've found them or not. And if we haven't, we adjust and we figure out the next thing. But it allows us to be incredibly proactive. And then I'm normally competing against somebody who wants to cut their fee to beat me. So, like, let me just show you the value that we provide and what exactly we're going to do. And this is what we're going to do. You can hold us accountable to do it. And a month from now, we're either going to be negotiating a contract. We're going to be talking about the market data. It's like, and we talked to 400 people or 150 people. They kind of like a building, but every one of them said prices to whatever. So we can adjust to that. As opposed to just saying, hey, I didn't talk to you in 3 months, it's time to relist. I'm going to send this over, you mind re-signing? That's lazy brokerage. So everything in IntelliSite allows us, and especially Database USA, it allows us to prospect better. It allows us to provide more value overall to everything we do in serving our clients. But we can just be so proactive as opposed to passive and, well, what we call lazy. My approach to evaluating new tech tools is to wait and see a little bit. I'm generally not the guy that, frankly, because it's overwhelming to me, I'm not out there testing all the new stuff. I follow a couple guys in the industry that tend to do that, and I let them vet it. And then when they land on something, guys like Michael Hieronymus, like, he figures this stuff out. I often just do what he tells me to do and do what he suggests. That's another thing that's so beautiful about IntelliSite is it has all been vetted for me already. And so I don't have to figure out what to use. There's so many options out there, and frankly, most of it I just try to block out. And every so often, maybe I'll pull in something that I haven't used before and give it a shot, but I don't have the bandwidth to figure all that stuff out. So one of the reasons I love how IntelliSite is vetted is because, there's a number of tools that are provided for us, and they've been relatively the same. They're the ones I was used to before the rebrand. And then at the bottom, there are some other tech tools that are available and vetted by CCIMs for CCIMs. And that just gives me a lot of comfort knowing that somebody who knows what my business is like and what our workflows are generally like is looking at these tools and saying, okay, this could add value to that process. And so right off the bat, I trust it more and more likely to consider bringing it into the workflows that we have in our company. Probably my favorite member benefit as a CCIM designee. I mean, having those letters after your name is huge, and that just provides a tremendous amount of credibility. It's like a reputation that goes before you in the marketplace, but you have to have the ability to back that up when it's time to perform. And IntelliSite is a huge part of our competitive advantage. Our business is relational and it's data-driven. It's really those two things, and you can layer technology over all those things, but it's all about relationships and data. And if somebody has great relationships and somebody over here has great data, some are going to win, some are going to lose, but if you can do both. And so the relationships are up to the practitioner, but as a designee, you have access to the data. And it's not just a tool, it's literally the best tool in our business. Business analysts, ArcGIS, all the different things. Like, you can learn now with the economics. Like, those are some of the most incredible tools in the industry. But I was listening one time, I was having a conversation with Bob Knackel, and I asked him how the market is. And most brokers, you say, how's the market? They'll say, it's great, it's hot, it's slow, they're gonna use some kind of adjective. Well, he went on this 4-minute tirade of all the stats of New York City. And at the end of answering a very simple question, I was like, no way anybody knows more about that market than him. And so what we have is an opportunity. Every time somebody says, how's your market? It's an opportunity to answer in such a way that proves that you're the expert in that market, and also actually answers the question with value. Well, IntelliSite's where you get all that value, and you can do it quickly, and it's super powerful. If you're not using IntelliSite, you're leaving money on the table.